Okay, Bismillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa ahlul uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma inna nas'aluka al-ikhlas fil qawli wal amal. Allahumma innaka afuwwun kareemun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala nabiyyina Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome to today's session. Today, inshallah, we'll be starting ayah number 14. We're almost there. Alhamdulillah. We're on to the last half aside now. So, inshallah, just a few days to go. So let's hang in there and get to the end, inshallah. May Allah make it easy for all of us. Okay, so we come to the first part. So again, it's a longer ayah. So we're only doing some of it today and some of it tomorrow, inshallah. Okay. Okay, so we'll start with the isti'adha and the basmala. And Sister Farhat, since you've joined us today, I will get you, inshallah, to repeat after me, if you may, inshallah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, well, I'll try that again. الرحمن الرحيم.
الرحمن الرحيم.
It's better, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khairan. Okay, so we start off with the word قالت الأعراب. Now we'll keep going. We'll do both of these words together. We have a heavy qaf. Now, whenever you have a heavy letter, especially with a mud alif after it, this is the highest level of heaviness, according to the opinion of Imam Ibn al-Jazari. So this is the heaviest you can get for a letter when it has a fatha and it has a mud alif after it. Okay. So here you got to make sure that it's nice and heavy. Making sure the makhraj is right. You're going to the soft palate. Your back of the tongue is moving up and backwards in a diagonal fashion. We have and it's stretched for 2 counts, of course, because of the mad alif. We have then the lam, which is nice and light. It's a light letter. It's not in the name of Allah, so we don't need to consider whether it's going to be heavy. So it's going to be light. We know that for sure. Qala. Okay, not qala. Be careful not to make the lam heavy here. The ta is then joined with the lam, okay, in the next letter. This is lam al-ta'rif. This is lam al-ta'rif al-qamariyya. The hukm here is idhar. That's for those of you who have done the course or have learned from elsewhere and already know the lam sakina rules. So here we will read the lam and we will join it with the letter before. Qalatil. The lam is a tawassut letter, remember? So we stay on it, but we do not stay on it too long. Okay, so we have qalatil. Then we have the word, the next letter, is letter hamza followed by letter ain. So this is similar to what we see when we say a'udhu. Okay, when we say a'udhu. Now here we have a hamza followed by a ain too. But in this case, it's a little bit, it makes it a little bit more challenging because what you're doing is this time you're joining the ain with the hamza. Okay, you're joining the two. Okay, so you've got to be, if you can say a'u, if you're comfortable with that, then you should be you're ready to then say what's going on when you say this? Hamza we know is from the bottom of the throat. Okay, we know it's from the bottom of the throat, so it's the relaxed, just the same place that you say ha from. Okay, ha, very relaxed. After you say the ayn is from the middle of the throat. So if you go back to, for example, those diagrams that we drew earlier on in the course, the top, middle, and bottom of the throat, the ayn was from the middle, okay, and the hamza is from the bottom. So you should feel that you're moving up in the throat and then squeezing once you get to the ayn, okay. Al-a, 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 a. So you start off with the hamza, with the light and then you squeeze at the end. And again, the ayn is the wassut. It's like the lam in terms of how long you're going to spend on it. The lam was not too long, not too short. The lam sakina here. And the ayn is also the wassut, which means that it is not too long, not too short either. Okay. Once we've said that, we move on to the ra. which has the mad alif, so we know it's 2 count. It's also a tawassut letter. Sorry, we're not thinking about tawassut here, because when we talk about the timing of the letters, when we talk about a letter having being tawassut, we 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 think about that more when the letter has a sukoon, a jazm on it. So in this case, the ra does not have a sukoon or a jazm on it. We don't need to think about the timing, because this time the timing comes from the haraka, really. The timing is the fatha, and it has the mad alif. So we know the timing is 2 counts. So now we don't think about the wasut. The wasut we only think about when the letters are sakina. Like, for example, the lam that we saw in al and a'rab, the ain. Okay, the both of them are have a sukoon or a jazm on them. After saying, sorry, what I meant to say with the ra is it's heavy. Okay, it's got something at the top, remember? The fatha and the dhamma at the top, so therefore it's a heavy letter. And then we come to a light ba, which is only 1 count. We say boo. But you have to remember, for the boo, you want to circle the lips. Okay, so let's try this onto Nasreen. قالت الأعراب.
قالت الأعراب.
Good. One more time. قالت الأعراب.
قالت الأعراب.
Yes, the only thing I'd like you to do on is when you say qa, you kind of stop after it. You say qa, latil, qa, latil, qala, qala. Keep going. Qalat.
قالت.
Yeah, that's better. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullahu khairan. Then we come to the next word. We have the word amanna. For those of you that know this alif, because it's after a hamza, this is known as mad badal. Okay, so it's 2 counts again. And again, we're going to the hamza, so be careful. This is not the ain. This is hamza, going back to the relaxed one from the bottom of the throat. Okay, amanna. The meme is joined with the noon, and the noon is mushaddad, so we're going to prolong the noon, the joining of the noon. Aman, that part. Amanna. This time we also have a mad alif at the end, so we prolong that part too. Okay, so we prolong the joining because it's akmal gunna, and then we also prolong the ending because of the mad alif. Okay, so we'll say amanna, amanna. So Sister Homera, if you could try this from the beginning for me. قالت الأعراب آمنا.
قالت الأعراب آمنا.
Okay, so you pause after the ain here, after the it was like al-a'rabu. You see that pause? Al-a'ra, straight from the ain to the ra. قالت الأعراب آمنا.
قالت الأعراب آمنا.
Better. Right, I want you to say ha.
ها.
This is better for your hamza. It's almost there. Let's try again. Ha.
ها.
Now, why am I making you say ha? Now because you're trying. Sometimes when you don't think about it and you just say it's better. Sometimes the more you think about something, you tend to start making the mistakes that you were making before. So here you say ha, and the way that you say the ha, I want you to balance that. Keep it the same for the ha.
ها.
Yes, ha.
ها.
Now, why am I making her say the ha? Because the ha comes from the same place. So once she says ha, she's going to the middle of the throat. She then has to stay there, and she has to also stay relaxed. So one more time, Sister Humera. The last one wasn't as good as the previous one. Ha.
ها.
You're getting there. You're getting there. This is much, much better. I'm going to make you say it one more time, and then I'm going to add the word amanna at the end. Okay, see if you can repeat the hamza. Okay. Ha amanna.
ها آمنا.
It's better. Yes, this is better. You're definitely heading. You're almost there. MashaAllah, this is good, but this is a big improvement from how you were reading before. MashaAllah. Barakallah fiki. Jazakumullah khairan. Okay, then we come to the next one. We come to the word qul. Now, for those of you that do know, of course, this is lamul fi'al. When lamul fi'al, or lam which is found in verbs, when it's followed by another of the same, when it's followed by the letter lam or the letter ra, Then we do idgham. Okay, and we know we're doing idgham because that's why they've put the shadda there. Okay, the shadda isn't there originally. If you were going to write these words anywhere else, so supposing you were writing, you're looking at another Arabic text, and just maybe any Arabic textbook, right? Not the Quran, then it would be written as qul, and then it would say lam, and you will see no shadda on the lam. The shadda is there simply because of the tajweed rule to tell you you have to do the idgham here, you're merging. Remember what we said about so this is also an example of idgham mutamathilain because it's the same letter twice. Okay, so what happens here is we've seen this before. Is remember we said you go to the articulation point only once. You say qul lam. You do not say qul lam. This is one you can tell it doesn't sound as nice, right? It's not nice on the ears saying it like that. It's also more effort. So actually, I know for most of us, we say that, Tajweed, for some of us that find Tajweed challenging, some of us might say, oh, Tajweed is hard or Tajweed is difficult. But actually, once you do keep practicing, once you get used to and you're comfortable with how to pronounce letters or words in the correct way, you'll actually start really appreciating that Tajweed is there to make it easier. It actually does, one, make the Quran sound a lot nicer, and it also makes it very clear to understand, but also it makes it a lot easier on the tongue, right? So it's actually more effort to say qul lam, go to the lam, qul, let go, then go again to the same place, lam. It's inefficient, it's too much effort, and it's a lot easier to actually just say qul lam, qul lam. So it's like you're going from the qaf straight to the lam. For those of you that do know, of course, this lam is merging and becoming a copy of the second lam. This is just a technicality for those of you that are a bit more advanced. It's not that you're going from the qaf to the lam. Actually, what you're doing is that the first lam is becoming a copy of the second lam. So you say qul lam. This is easier to understand when the next letter is a ra. So you say qur rabbi, and then you say the first lam becomes a copy of the next letter, which is the ra. So you say qur rabbi, right? Here it's a bit more difficult to tell because it happens to be the same letter twice. But enough to say that, you're going to the makhraj only once and then you let go. You then join the lam to the mim. Okay, mim is the tawassut letter. So you're going to stay on it. Qul lam. So you stay on it not too long, not too short. Okay, you'll also notice that this isn't a bouncy letter. So be careful not to say qul lam. When you let go of the lips, this is incorrect. Okay, you want to hold the makhraj and then stop. Okay, hold the makhraj and then stop, but you don't want to hear your lips coming away. You don't want to hear that. Okay, if you could try this, Sister Farhat.
قل لم.
Good, mashallah. Then we have the word tu'minu. Now here the ta is joined with the hamza. Now whenever you see a hamza on top of another letter, right? Sometimes it's on top of a waw, sometimes it's on top of an alif, sometimes it's on top of a ya, sometimes it may even be underneath an alif like this, okay? But whenever you see a hamza on top or below a letter, like for example, we can see it here in qalatil a'rab, it's on top of an alif, okay? Sometimes it doesn't have a seat at all. Sometimes it's on its own, like we see here in amanna. If you see it with another letter, then the other letter is acting as a seat, and we pronounce the hamza. Okay, so here you're not actually pronouncing the waw. For those of you that know about other recitations and other riwayas, sometimes in other riwayas, they do not pronounce the hamza, they pronounce it as a mad waw. So they'll say tu minu. But this is not the recitation we are doing. We are doing Hafs and Asim. And for this one, we do pronounce the hamza. He does ithbat of the hamza here, and he says tu minu. Okay, so what are we doing here? We say tu, we circle the lips, we get to the hamza, and we do the sharp stop. Tu. Okay, this is important. So how do you actually say this? It's just a matter of cutting the sound off, right? Sometimes when you go, that's you starting and stopping your voice. So in this case, what you're doing is you're just stopping your voice once. Okay, you don't really need to squeeze anything. So if you find yourself going this kind of thing, you don't want to squeeze anything. It's very relaxed. It's just cut off the sound. Stop speaking quickly. Okay, tu'minu. The meme has the kasra, tu'mi. Make sure you say me and not me. Nu is stretched for 2 counts. Be careful, you don't say nu, where the gunna it has gone into the mud wow. Okay, you don't want to do that. You want to keep the mud clear and say nu, tu'minu, nu, not no. Okay, so be careful of that one. Right, let's try this, Auntie Nasreen. قل لم تؤمنوا.
قل لم تؤمنوا.
Let's try it one more time, Auntie. Think about that wow at the end. When you say nu, sometimes when you circle the lips for the nu, if the circling is very small, like you go where there's hardly a gap, there is still a gap. You'll still have a gap, which is why you're pronouncing it from the. But if the gap gets too small, there's not enough space for the sound to come through the mouth, and therefore the sound goes through the nasal cavity. And that's why you end up saying tu'minu. You want to keep a bit of a gap, tu'minu, where you got the gap so the sound can keep coming from the mouth. That will help fix the gunna. Tu'minu.
تؤمنوا.
It's a little bit better. Again, Auntie. And then concentrate also, Auntie, when you say nu, think about trying to get your sound, push it out through the lips. Okay. Tu'minu.
تؤمنوا.
This is a bit better. Good. Yes, this is much better. Alhamdulillah. Now try this, Auntie. I'm going to make you say ooh on its own. Ooh.
أو.
So this sound, I'm going to make you say it again. Think about how it's coming out, how the sound is coming out through the mouth. And then I'm going to add the nu. When you say the nu, the ending should still be the same ooh sound. Ooh, nu.
أونو.
Bit better. It's still a little bit there. Let's try it one more time. Ooh, nu.
أونو.
Yes, mashallah. Good. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Well done, Auntie. Mashallah. Good. Okay, right. Let's move on. Actually, let's just say this line up until where we are now. So, Sister Salma, if you'd like to join me for this part. قالت الأعراب آمنا.
قالت الأعراب آمنا.
When you say the boo, as you circle the lips and you let go of the makhraj, try to concentrate on boo. Let your voice come outwards rather than boo, boo, boo inwards. And also relax the back of the tongue. Actually, let's try it on its own first. Boo.
بو.
Again, boo.
بو.
This is better. Good. Al-a'rabu.
الأعراب.
Yes, mashallah. Good. And the last part. قُل لَمْ تُؤْمِنُوا.
قل لم تؤمنوا.
Just the mud at the end. Unu.
أونو.
It's a little bit now. It's better than it was, but still a little bit there. So just when you say ooh, think about it. Ooh, you want the same ending. Unu.
أونو.
Good. One more time. That was good, mashallah. Unu.
أونو.
Yes, mashallah. Mashallah, you definitely, alhamdulillah. Keep practicing, mashallah. You're getting, you've improved, alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khairan. Okay, moving on to the next line, we have walakin qulu. Now, wala we've seen many times, so I'm not going to go into that. Suffice to say that the lam, remember here, is 2 counts because of the mad alif. Now, here we have the noon sakin rule with the noon followed by the qaf. We have seen this before, so if you can remember, try to remember what's going on here. We've got the noon sakin followed by the qaf. We're hiding the noon. That's your clue. This is an example of ikhfa, haqiqi. And because this time the letter qaf is a heavy letter. Remember yesterday I gave you the list of the heavy letter. The qaf is in there, right? So the qaf is heavy, which means this time it will be with a heavy gunna. Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to say walakin qu. Now qaf I have mentioned, I think it was with the qaf or with the kaf. But I remember touching on mentioning both of them when we did the rule. I think we did it very early on. When you have a noon sakin followed by the qaf, it's a special rule of ikhfa haqiqi. Normally with ikhfa haqiqi, remember your tongue shouldn't go to the place of noon, you're getting ready for the next letter. But only with the letter qaf and kaf, I hope this is all ringing a bell now because I have mentioned this before. Only if the letter is a qaf or a kaf, you don't get ready, you don't get close to the makhraj of the qaf, you actually go to the makhraj and you press on the qaf as you pronounce the gunna. So it's not like this. Walakin qu. That's me close to the qaf, right? You don't want it sounding like that. If you actually go to the qaf and press on it, it should sound like this. Walakin kin. I've blocked it completely. My tongue is back of the tongue is actually pressing on the makhraj, on the soft palate. Okay. That's what will give you a heavy gunna sound. Okay, you can tell now that the gunna sounds a lot heavier too. Okay. Walakin qulu. Then you have qu, 2 counts, lu. Here, this is your, because it's followed by a hamza in the next word. For those of you that know, this is mad jaiz munfasil. Okay, jaiz munfasil is 4 to 5 counts if we carry on reading the next word too. Okay. Sorry. So here we have the hamza joint with the sin. Sin is a rakhawa letter. Again, we've seen this sin before. So this is the one that you keep running, and it's longer than, for example, we did a longer timing than we held the lam in the ain, al-a'rab. It's going to be longer than them because they were in between letters. So this one's longer. Keep going. Aslamna. The meme here is the wasut. So here, if you want to be really, if you really want to put your like your tajweed and your timing to the test, what you'll find here is you've got the sin and you've got the meme. Both have got a jazm or a sukoon on them. The first one is a rahawa letter. The second one, the meme, is a tawassut letter. The sin is longer. Okay, so when you are actually pronouncing this, you should stay on the sin longer than you stay on the meme. Aslamna, aslamna. Okay. You want to stay on the scene a bit longer. Then you have the noon followed by the mad alif, a regular mad tabi'i, held for 2 counts. Okay, all of these are light letters. Aslamna. You're not saying asla or asla or na at the end. It's aslamna, all nice and light. Okay, Sister Farhat, if you could join me for this one from the beginning of this line, please. ولكن قولوا أسلمنا.
ولكن قولوا أسلمنا.
Good, mashallah. Your timings are good. قولوا, the mads were nice and clear of gunna, which is very nice, alhamdulillah. When you get to the makhraj, when you're doing the ikhfa and you go to the makhraj of the qaf, you can press on the qaf a little bit more to give it a bit more strength. Okay, qaf generally we know is a shidda letter. So if you're going to the makhraj, we're going to go to that makhraj with a bit more strength, so a bit more pressure there. Okay, ولكن قولوا أسلمنا.
ولكن قولوا أسلمنا.
Good, mashallah, alhamdulillah, jazakumullah khairan. We have the word walamma. Now here the lam is joined with the meme. The meme has the longest gunna, it's akmal gunna because it's meme mushaddad. And then we have the mad alif, which is 2 counts. Walamma. Okay, for the next part we have yad. Now dal here is a qalqala letter, it's the bouncy letter. Okay, so this is the one where I should hear you move away from the makhraj. So you go to the makhraj and say yad. But then I want to hear you let go. Yada, yada, yada. And the bounce off is immediate. Okay, remember, we don't say yada, for example. Or you don't put more energy into the qalqala. You don't say yada, yada, right? There's too much energy into the qalqala part. It's just very naturally what comes, just go to the makhraj and come away with just the same amount of effort. Yada, 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 yada. Okay, so after you've done this qalqala, sorry, my throat is a little bit playing up today, and I hope I'm not annoying you with my constant whatever I'm doing. Okay, anyway, yada. After the ya, after the dal, you go to the kha. Yadahu, yadahu, yadahu. For the hu, what are you doing? You're circling the lips. Okay, so remember, after that, be careful here because you got to get your timing right. You don't want to circle the lips whilst you're doing the qalqala of the dal. So sometimes what happens is we start pronouncing the next letter too early when we haven't finished the first letter. You don't want to be saying yadu, okay? Because then your qalqala sound is going to change. Okay, so finish the qalqala first, yada, 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 then circle the lips for the ha. Yadahu, yadahu, yadahu. Okay, The lam here is joined with the lam in al-iman. Yadkhulil iman. Okay, so again, the lam here is the wassut. So just making sure that we stay on it not too long, not as long as the sin in aslamna, but as long as this meme was also tawassut, sorry. Yadkhulil iman. Again, here we have a mad badal. For those of you that know, because of the hamza before it, this is again it's just a more specific name. It's like a mad tabi'i. It's just a more specific version. If when we say mad badal, it makes it more precise. It makes it clear that actually there's a hamza involved in this mad. And if you say mad tabi'i, it could be any letter followed by a mad letter. But mad badal tells you it's hamza first. So that's 2 counts. The meme is also 2 counts. So here you think about your balance, your timing. When however long you spend on E, same amount of time on the ma. Okay, and then you have the 1 count nu at the end. Al-imanu, al-imanu. Okay, just making sure that that is the timing of the E and the ma. Let's try this one. I think I did Sister Farhat with the last one. Yes. Auntie Nasreen, if you could join me for this part. وَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانُ.
ولما يدخل الإيمان.
Yes, just be careful when you say walamma. You held the lam very nicely. The alif that was a little bit short. So take your time and finish that one for 2 counts as well. وَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانُ.
ولما يدخل الإيمان.
That was much better. Jazakumullah khairan. Alhamdulillah. Okay, let's go on to the last part. Fi qulubikum. Fi is 2 counts. It's got the mad ya after it. Qulubikum. Again, we're seeing the qaf. Remember the makhraj, the soft palate. Qulu. Now here you want to be careful because you've said a heavy qaf. The lam, remember here, is not in the name of Allah. Therefore, we know immediately it's light. So we say qulu. You've got to be careful not to say qulu. Qulu. It's very easy to do because you say a heavy qaf. It's easy to make the lam after it heavy, but you don't want to be doing that. You want to shift to a light lam. Qulu, 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 qulu. Okay, so the lam should be nice and light, and it's 2 counts. Okay, because of the mad waw, a normal regular mad tabi'i after that. The B, again, as with all kasras, making sure that you say a sharp E and not a A. It's very easy to say qulubikum. You don't say B, you want to say B. Qulubikum. Okay, bikum. And then the kum, of course, we've mentioned many times the kaf. Now this, just remember that this makhraj is not the same. It's the one in front or closer to the lips in the mouth than the qaf. And then the meme, of course, is the wasut, so making sure that you go from circling of the lips for the ku, relaxing the lips and holding the time for the meme, not too long, not too short. So let's try this part, Sister Humaira. وَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانُ فِي قُلُوبِكُمْ.
ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم.
Good, mashallah, excellent. Alhamdulillah, jazakumullah khairan. Okay, since time is nearly up, let's go back to the top, inshallah. Sister Salma, if you'd like to join me for the whole ayah, please. قالت try that again. قالت الأعراب آمنا.
قالت الأعراب آمنا
قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا.
قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا
قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم.
قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم.
Okay, so just be careful when you say yadhu. I heard like a yadhu. So So just making sure you're making a proper oo sound. وَلَمَّا يَدْخُلِ الْإِيمَانُ.
ولما يدخل الإيمان.
That's it. Jazakumullah khairan. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khairan, everybody, for joining us today. Inshallah, we will complete the ayah, inshallah, tomorrow. Please stay with us. Sister Zuleika's tafsir will be starting in a few moments. Barakallahu li wa lakum fil Qur'an al-Hakim wa nafa'ani wa iyyakum bil ayati wa dhikri al-Hakim. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك اللهم صل وسلم على نبينا محمد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته